So here what? So special good evening to you, Mr. George Singh. How you feeling? How you doing tonight, sir?
Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I know you're getting ready for the finals once again. It is upon us, and this is the finals week. I know that just a couple of weeks ago we had you just prior to the semifinals, and it was a mega concert like no other. We saw a lot of videos brought by Firepower and some of the artists in them doing Periscope and things like that. What's your final take on the semifinals?
Well, I think the semifinals was a great show. The move from Cuba in Central down to Debe in South Trinidad was very well received. It was a great move. The venue we went to is a very, very good venue, and I think everything went well. We had 49 contestants that crossed the stage, and the show ran very, very smoothly. We got a very, very nice crowd, very energetic. I think everyone enjoyed the show. And even after the event, when I looked at it back on TV, on the broadcast, I was very pleased with the way the entire semi-final came across. So all in all, I think it was an excellent show, and we're looking good for the grand final on Saturday.
Well, that's good. Now, you know, one of the things is, I know it was judges and so forth. You know, take us to what was that like? You know, to go from 49 people down to 20, especially 10 in each category. I mean, that's not no easy task. And you know, what's the process in regards to that?
Well, I think the judges had a really difficult task for the semi-finals in particular. As you said, going from 49 to 20 was definitely, I would imagine, not an easy task. But I think that what we have right now going to the final are really 20 of the best. You would remember that we had close to 150 entrants from the very beginning. We went from approximately 150 down to 49, and now from 49 to 20. We really have a nice crop of artists. I think it's one of the best shows we're going to have in the grand final. And I don't know if you heard the announcement that was made. Well, it was actually made last week Friday unofficially, but officially announced yesterday that we are giving free entry to everyone before 9 p.m. So once you're at the venue before 9 p.m., once you're inside the venue before 9 p.m., it's absolute free entry. And you must have your coolers in. As you know, this is the cooler Monarch.
The cooler
Monarch. So you
Monarch.
must have your coolers in before 10 p.m.
Now, you know, and that's a big thing, because, you know, a lot of the artists in them in regards to the new song of this year, like, you know, like, for instance, you know, General Imran, a lot of people is really liking that Rain and Rum, and, you know, and one of the things, you know, bring out your cooler and things like that. A lot of the other artists in them in regards to coolers and thing, it kind of works together with the theme that you're projecting about bringing out your cooler, and also for it to be free before 9 p.m. You said entry, is that correct? Free before 9?
Yeah, that's correct. As you know, the party market, I don't know if you know, but the party scene in Trinidad has changed a lot. A lot of people are into the cooler events. They want to go to the cooler fest. You know, and what is happening also, Alan, in Trinidad is that people, I think all over the world, people are partying later and later into the night. So to get people to get into Skinner Park by 8 o'clock in the night to start a show has been a challenge over the last 3 years as the party scene has really changed in Trinidad. So we're starting the show a little bit later. The actual competition is going to start at 10. The gates are opening at 7. The DJs are going to go live from 9. People are free before 9. So we're trying to get people into the venue early and kick the show off at 10 o'clock on the dot. Now,
with that being said, with the show starting at 10, you're looking at close to maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, correct? Once again?
No. We anticipate the show is going to finish at around 2 o'clock. It's going to run very smoothly. Artists are going to be given only 6 minutes on stage. So we're not going to have long, drawn-out performances, as you know we've had in past years. It's going to be a very, very tight show. We have 10 traditional, 10 Chutney Soca. We also have a concert performance by Raymond Ramnarayan and Dilly Nadan performing at Chutney Soca finals. So all in all, I think the competition itself should be finished by about 1:30. And by 2:30, definitely results should be announced. And that is 2:30 Trinidad and Tobago time.
So which is 1:30 in the U.S. So now the big question in regards to the international people who cannot make it there, how are they going to be able to watch this? Are they going to be able to watch this? Are they going to be able to hear this?
Yes, so you're definitely going to be able to see it. I believe it is, well, I know it is for a fact that it's being streamed on the Win Caribbean network. I believe it's Win Caribbean HD or Win HD. I can't remember the exact link. Yeah. I will post it, but it's Win TV, nevertheless. I think that there's an agreement with Rogers Network, so the people in Canada in particular may be able to just switch their TVs on and get it live.
Wow.
I'm going to post all that information hopefully by Thursday or Friday, so that, and it'll be posted on our Facebook pages, so you could keep looking at our Facebook pages to get that information. Alan, if you want to call me later on in the week, I can always give you that information also for you to be able to broadcast to your listeners.
Okay.
So definitely you're going to be able to see it, and you're going to be able to see it for free.
Definitely, we'll be able to do that. Like we did last time, we're going to put this interview back online. We'll get the information to be able to show on that YouTube link that we're going to be putting out there, but to give it out there, as well as we will promote it on behalf of the Monarch, because a lot of people, that's one of the biggest questions in regards to how I can see it. We do hope that Win TV has worked out the technical issues that they've had the past couple of years, so that it will be able to be broadcast.
I hope they work out. I know that they've had some issues, but I think they've basically worked it out. So I'm hoping that we won't have any technical problems this year, and people will be able to enjoy the show.
No, that's great. Now, George, one of the things that you have changed from the years prior to now, no text voting. You know, a lot of people was looking into that and so forth. Why the hard change? You know, definitely strictly judges for this year.
Well, it is definitely strictly judges this year. I think one of the reasons that we definitely changed was the fact that as you know, we don't have a telecommunications provider online with us this year, which is definitely one of the issues. But apart from that, Alan, you know, we've been listening to what people have been saying, and the artists in particular. We did a vote. We did a vote in the early meetings, and all the artists decided that they wanted no text voting, all right, and they wanted 100% judges. So basically, the artists have made the decision, because even though we did not have a telecommunications provider online with us, we were making arrangements for people to be able to vote via text voting, even though we didn't have a telecommunications provider. But the artists came out, and it was a unanimous vote. They all voted in favor of 100% judges. I think they were happy with what happened at the semi-final, and we're going to the final with 100% judges.
And I think that's definitely a good thing, because, you know, since the text voting had came out, you always hear all these stories in the background. You understand? And, you know, and really and truly, it takes away from the artists and them that when they win and things like that. So I definitely commend you in regards to that. Now, you know, and one of the other things that keeps coming up, I see a lot of people posted it on your Facebook. They wrote all these long stories. George, publish the results. Is that something you're going to look into doing, about publishing the results and how the judges voted and so forth?
Well, you mean first to publish the results from the judges?
Yes. I think that's what, that's a question that people ask a lot.
Well, the thing is that, you know, over the years, we've never published results from judges, right? The artists are entitled to see their judging sheet, but you know, when you have 20 artists in a competition, like as you have this year, we have 10 and 10. One of the things we didn't want to do was even though no artist should be embarrassed, because they've come through a screening, they've come through a semi-final, they've made a final. But you know, you would hear people laughing at contestants if they come 10th, for example. Right. And they would want to tell them that they ran last. Which in fact is not true. Because they would have run 10th in a competition that had 150 people competing.
Exactly.
So that's one of the things that we never really like to do, was to publish full results. What we will do is we will publish the marks. So you would be able to see, for example, who came in the top. Well, I can't remember if we published all 10 last year, but we do publish. We may publish actually all the marks.
That'll be great.
So Alan, as a matter of fact, I think I can't remember if we published all the marks last year. I'll have to go back and check. Or if we just published the top 3 or the top 5.
I think it was just the top 5. I don't recall because I remember for both sides it was the top 5.
I think it may have been. I think it may have been actually the top 5.
Okay, so you all heard it.
But I don't have I don't have a problem publishing all the results. I mean the marks are there. It's in the public. It's in the public. If the artists want to see it, it's there for them to see. Right, but we had stopped calling all the marks for about 3 or 4 years now, simply because we didn't want to say who ran last.
Right, I understand.
In the competition.
I totally understand.
So but that was really the only reason.
So, well, like everyone is hearing that, results will be put out there, definitely on the request of the artist. Now, in regards to the finals, what is the different elements that a judge is looking at? Is it like 5 categories, 7 categories? What's the categories? That way when people are watching this at home, they too can be like, you know what? All right, these are the things that they're looking for.
Right, so let me tell you, it's actually my brain there. But just so I think I have it here on my computer, so I'll pull it up.
Okay.
Give me 1 second to pull it up.
No problem.
Right?
Thank you for taking the time.
But definitely the judges, I think it's 5 different categories. If you want to chat with me about one other thing while I pull it up.
Right. I know definitely one category is presentation. You understand? In regards to the fireworks display, the dances, all those kind of things. Presentation is definitely one of the categories. Performance is the next one, I believe.
Right. Just 1 second. It's coming up here, and I'm gonna give you that information right now. Right. So basically, the categories are you have singing technique, which is 15 marks.
Okay.
You have rhythm, which is 15. You have lyrics, which is 20. You have presentation, which is 15. You have crossover, which is 10. Impact, 15. And originality, 10. Now, in the traditional category, one of the things that the judges did is they took 5 points from the crossover. They took the 10 points that went to crossover.
Okay.
Because there's no crossover in the traditional.
Correct.
So we took 5 and 5, and we gave singing technique 5 extra points. And we gave, I believe it might have been originality and extra. It was either originality or lyrics, an extra 5.
Okay, very good.
So they eliminated in the traditional category, the crossover of 10 points doesn't count. But that 10 points, 5 and 5, went into 2 other categories. Singing technique, I know, is definitely one of them. And I believe either originality or lyrics got the extra 5.
Now, is it two separate panels of judging?
Set of judges? No, okay. It's not. It's one set of judges judging both categories.
Okay, and definitely in regards to the traditional, they're very well versed in regards to the Hindi and so forth, correct?
Well, not all of them are versed in Hindi, but what we do with the judges is we ask the artists to produce their lyrics, right, in Hindi, and also get it translated in English. So the judges have the lyrics in front of them, both in Hindi and the translated English lyrics.
Really? That's good.
Yeah, so all artists are supposed to submit their lyrics and the translation of the words.
Very interesting. So that's good. So at least, definitely they know the meanings of the song and so forth and what makes up the elements, the constructional elements of the song. So that's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, in regards to that part of it, like I said, that part is more difficult. I think the traditional, to me, is probably harder to judge than the regular soca, chutney soca. What's your take on that?
Well, yeah, it may be. I mean, at the end of the day, all the judges that we're going to have, I think one person is probably new, but the rest of them are people that have been accustomed judging our competition. Maybe not every year, but they have been there, so I think it is something that they are accustomed with. I agree with you, the traditional may be a little bit more difficult to judge and to understand, but definitely at the end of the day, I think the judges do a great job.
And I got to commend them on that because, like I said, that is hard. This year everything solely relies on them, so we gotta give them credit on that. So you're going back to your home grounds, one of your favorite venues in regards to the finals. What's in store this year that you didn't have last year, or what can they look forward to in regards? Because like I said, your presentation to me is like a American concert. What are you bringing this year? 21 years of doing this, as well as having your hands a little bit strapped in regards to government participation. What's your how are you gonna pull this out? Let's say.
Definitely this year the funding is a lot lower, right? So we have been challenged in terms of doing a production that is of international standard. But I want to assure you that the production you are going to see on Saturday is second to none. We have actually done a lot of things that have improved on last year's production. So I think that when people look at the show this year, they're going to see a much improved production. What we're doing with the venue also is we're actually creating a venue inside of Skinner Park. So it's a venue inside of a venue to give people a different kind of feel when they come in. The pictures will speak for themselves, the broadcast will speak for itself, and maybe we can chat after the finals, Alan.
For sure.
Maybe next week, we can have a little chat. And you can give me your feedback and maybe your listeners' feedback also on what they thought of the show, what they thought of the final production. And I said this today, that I think that Chutney Soca, well, I looked at the semi-finals of both Soca Monarch, and I looked at our semi-finals, and people might think I'm being a little bit biased, but I think that Chutney Soca Monarch was far ahead of the Soca Monarch this year, in terms of the quality of songs, the quality of music, the quality of the production. And I can tell you for sure that I know that our final production will probably be the best production in Carnival 2016, and I say that without reservation.
Well, you know what, George, like I said, I've been to 3 of your shows, your events and finals and so forth, and unfortunately I won't be there this year, but I know for a fact you definitely do. Production, like I said, it's totally on a different level. I gotta commend you in regards to that, and definitely we can chat. We'll chat next week Tuesday, the same time, in regards to the breakdown and feedback, and even we'll also coordinate to get the Soca Monarch winner on the air so they can give us their take on that. Both of them, the traditional as well as the winner. We'll definitely coordinate that. So next week Tuesday will be.
I was very happy actually that Shiva Lakan won the traditional. I think he came from nowhere. I don't think people expected him to win, but he gave a very good performance, and I know he's New York based. So that was very good. I think he was surprised. He told me when he heard the announcement, he started to tears came to his eyes.
Yes.
So I think people should look forward to his performance in particular, because I think he has some things up his sleeve to try and capture this traditional title.
That is definitely the talk of the town right now in regards to Shiva Lakan representing all of America on his back, let's say. So that is something that is to be looked forward to, and we definitely commend Shiva doing that. Out of the 3 artists out of the States, Shiva has been able to make it to that level. So we definitely commend him in regards to that. Now, George, any final words you want to say before we get ready to let you go? And once again, thank you for taking the time to give us your take in regards to the upcoming finals.
I would just like to say thank you, Alan, for all the support that you've given us. Thanks to your listeners for all the support that they have given us. I think we've had many challenges this year financially in terms of putting on the show. There was question marks from the very beginning as to whether Chutney Soca Monarch would even happen. There were question marks as to whether we would have a traditional element. We've come through all of those. We've jumped over all of those hurdles. We're on the final stretch to the grand final, which takes place on Saturday. And I assure you it is going to be a fantastic show. And even though we had all of those challenges, we've overcome them and we've succeeded. And I think people could look forward to many, many more years of Chutney Soca Monarch.
Well, and that's always something that is challenging in regards to, you're used to doing something for so many years one way, and then all of a sudden they kind of, let's say, tighten the belt a little bit, and you have to revamp in regards to where you got to go. So, George, once again, thank you. I know, like, I will get with you this week in regards to how people will be able to hear and see the Monarch this weekend. Now, I'm not going to ask you.
Right. Remember, it's also going to be streamed. Alan, remember, it's also going to be streamed on 103 FM.
Yes.
.net. It's going to be streamed on 101, and it's going to be live on Win Caribbean HD.
That's okay, great. So for the international people, well, if you're in Trinidad, make your way down because, like I said, this is definitely something that you're not going to be disappointed in regards to the presentation aspect, and a lot of the artists, all the artists that end up making it in. Let me just run down the list here so people have an idea. In the traditional category, we got Rakesh Yankaran, Asha Kamachi, Rauti Ramrup, Arti Bukun, Shiva Lakan, Kavita Maharaj, Rasika Dindial, Ruplal Gadari, Drupati, Anti-Droops, Hiralal Rampatap. And in regards to the Chutney Monarch side, we have Ravi B, Kenneth C. Prasad, General Imran, going by GI this year, Adesh Samaru, Omadat Maharaj, Rick Ramatar, Vikash Sahadev, Nishad Meru, K.I. Prasad, and our good friend who ended up making the finals today, announced for the International Soca Monarch, the one and only Mr. Ricky Jai is also in the finals for the Chutney Soca Monarch. Hello, George.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the rundown of everyone, and anything you want to say about the artists and them before we finalize.
Well, I just wanna congratulate Ricky Jai on making the International Soca Monarch finals. I think it's a wonderful achievement, and it's always good to have one of our Chutney stars in the International Soca Monarch. So congratulations to him, and I think we have a great lineup for Saturday. I look forward to the final, and I want to wish everyone the best of luck.
Okay, great, George. Once again, thank you very much, George, for taking the time. We wish you the best of luck on this humongous production, as well as, my boy Rishi Gaideen and the Guyatones crew. You have the best band in the land backing up the artists and them. So we wish them, we know that's a lot of hard work, but George, we'll connect with you on Tuesday next week. But once again, thank you very much. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, here's one.